Declaration of Independence from American Empire and Call for Direct Democracy by Geographic Region. At certain times in the course of human events, it may become necessary for a people to dissolve the political ties that have connected them with one another and instead reimagine their communities on a different sort of arrangement of social and political ties. For 2.5 centuries, Americans have largely consented to the supposed union based on a Declaration of Independence from the British Empire. And after the Revolutionary War, an alliance among the various states established a constitution as the legal basis for a form of government. Then, through westward expansionist policies, they appropriated native territories and legitimized these newly obtained acquisitions, rationalizing the theft as a matter of property rights, when native peoples mostly did not believe in such rights, since they did not believe that one could own land. So to the contrary, they believed that instead we belong to the earth. However, the white man, he never listened because his mind had been brainwashed by the false ideology of assumed superiority, mandated by God, manifest destiny, to carry the white man's burden, and the notion of American exceptionalism as well. Now, this brainwashing effectively provided justification for mass murder, rape, torture, starvation, and forced deportations of thousands of miles during the harshest weather, whose culture and languages were forbidden and exterminated in the concentration camps referred to as reservations. Though it mostly occurred over the westward expansion course of the 19th century, this policy and treatment of the indigenous peoples from various territories throughout North America affords us the classic prime definition of genocide. For how can it otherwise be described if what we mean by the term is that genocide is a project that not only aims to kill off a particular people in mass, but also destroys their heritage, history, language, cultural practices and landmarks, their way of, and places of worship, their very way of life. Well, what other term would you use to refer to this other than genocide? From its foundation and throughout its tumultuous history, there have always been critical, serious cultural, social, and political divisions. Some acknowledged while others repressed in obeisance to the prime narrative of this imagined community that it is united. Well, with all due respect to the beliefs of those who defend this historical arrangement, its imagined united community, the historical facts tell quite a different story of social, economic, and political divisions, which, with the passage of time, never really healed, but only grew worse, festering underneath until the time is ripe to reemerge, then taking shape as a new form of social conflict, yet still rooted in the unresolved and repressed past divisions and the violent history of slavery, genocide. Because of these ever-increasing divisions, the social fabric is irrevocably torn. Moreover, due to its history of violence and war, not only against its native population, but then expanded as an imperialist force worldwide, as empire, it has become necessary in the first quarter of the 21st century that a new, updated Declaration of Independence from American Empire be made. For historical and recent political developments have impelled us to reach the unavoidable conclusion that the time has come for the so-called United States of America be disbanded and split into several geographic regions.